We're here at the Democratic National Convention. A great friend of ours here with us. He's the great senator from the great state of Rhode Island, Sheldon Whitehouse. Senator, great to have you here.
Thank you, Jeff. It is wonderful to be here with you.
It's a fantastic couple of days. Bill Clinton last night was just incredible.
Unbelievable.
The night before, Michelle Obama, nearby friend Governor Deval Patrick.
Both terrific.
Yeah, it really has been an amazing window, and for the Democrats to go on the offense, and I think that's something that the governor and the president talked about. Your thoughts on what we should expect tonight and going forward into this campaign, which is obviously something you're going to be involved with. What is your method? What would be the way, the White House way, to win back the House, the Senate, and obviously keep the president the president?
Well, I think the First Lady did a superb job of sort of giving a human, personal window on the president, on his values, on what moves him, and on why, based on his own past and his own experience. And I thought that was really terrific. President Clinton, man, the home run he hit last night, that ball is still sailing. It was so good.
Yeah.
He took the
thing.
Republican argument and just took it apart. And I think, frankly, that's going to change the debate. I think the press is going to have a hard time re-reporting the Republican phony nonsense after he has called it out so clearly. And now he's given him the shortcut to saying so. He can say, well, Clinton pointed out in his convention speech, that's just not true.
Exactly.
So I thought that was really important, and it was kind of the debate part of going back at the Republican message. And what that leaves for the president tonight is the vision for the next 4 years and where we need to go and what we still need to get done. And so my guess, I haven't seen his speech, they obviously don't consult with me, but my guess is that this clears him up to kind of lay out the vision and the plan for the next 4 years. And I think if people see what it is that he wants to accomplish, that's a very big step towards people being comfortable with re-electing him. I think we need to do two things. One, call out the lies. The stuff that is being said about him that is just flatly not true, not debatable, not true, is really reprehensible, and we need to make sure we're stuffing it back, where it belongs. And the second is that Barack Obama is a president who really does have a vision for America, and it's one that I think most Americans can get behind if he has a chance to deliver it. Tonight's his chance.
Talking with Sheldon Whitehouse here on the Jeff Santos Show on RevolutionRadioNetwork.com, the Democratic National Convention in Charlotte. What is the approach tonight from the president when it comes to alternative energy? Something you care a lot about, something that we talk a lot about on the show. We look at high-speed rail, take cars off the road, reduce the carbon footprint. We look at wind and solar, and we see our friends across the world kicking our butts. How would you like to see him talk about it tonight and going forward?
Substantively, I give the president a lot of credit for making a lot of progress on clean energy issues, particularly with auto. In terms of the public debate, I think that we could all be a lot stronger. We have a public that, by virtually every poll I've ever seen, gets that carbon pollution that we're putting out there is causing climate change, it's causing our oceans to acidify, it's causing dramatic transformations that are not likely good ones in the way our children and grandchildren are going to live their lives. And I think that there are two things we can do on this. One is we can talk about competitiveness, because if we're not making the energy technology of the future, we're buying it from somebody else, and we've taken a backseat into just being consumers again instead of manufacturers. The second thing is that 30, 40, 50 years from now, when people look back at this generation of political leadership, the economic woes of our times will be past. The wars will be past. They will be living with the consequences of our failure to act on carbon pollution. And so we have a real legacy moment here, and I think it's important that as Democrats, we seize it. Because when this does turn, and it's going to turn rapid and hard in public opinion, we want to be the ones who said, you can trust us. We told you about this before it was popular. We fought for it before it was popular. Now that you get it as well, we're the party you can trust. The other guys, look where they got their money. Look what they were saying that wasn't true. Don't go there.
Look at the tax breaks for big oil. Look at the fact that one of their people in Congress say they're embarrassed to bring people up before they answer very simple questions. It goes on and on.
It goes on and on.
One of the things we were talking about, and we're going to be talking with Governor Rendell a little bit later on this, in the high-speed rail category, goes right through Rhode Island, your colleague, an independent governor, Lincoln Chafee, has been a proponent of it as well. This should be bipartisan, but they won't even. The Republicans in the Congress won't even talk about that when they've been doing for years in something that is actually done very well, the Acela line.
Yeah, you look at the New England corridor, it makes money.
Right.
The reason Amtrak loses money is because Republican senators make Amtrak send trains off places that are a great distance away where there's not a lot of ridership.
At 30 miles an hour.
In New England, Amtrak makes money. It's a absolutely vital service. Upgrading it will allow, Boston to New York in half the time it is now. It'll allow Providence to Boston or New York so quickly you could conceivably go in for dinner and come back out afterwards and be home in time to go to bed.
Yeah.
I mean, and for work, it means that people can begin to live more where they choose and have more flexibility in either commuting or in heading in for meetings and back. And in places like Rhode Island, which are just beautiful places to live, interesting places to live, diverse places to live, we're going to do well in an environment in which people can live where they want and then work in a nearby location, but be, based out of their homes more. So for a whole bunch of reasons, this is a legacy of Claiborne Pell as well. He was called Senator Choo Choo years ago because he fought for Amtrak and fought for the rail service. And so this is a long Democratic tradition, but it's always been supported before. It's just a question of, where's the money and is it too local for people in other places to get behind. But the idea that this is wrong or that this is a bad idea, that's a new artifact on the political landscape, and it really doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense in New England.
Takes the Republicans back to the 18th century. Always great talking to you, and thank you, and all the best in your fight. And we'll be talking to you on the campaign trail.
Jeff, thank you for your strong voice. I really appreciate it. It's always a privilege to be on your show.
Thank you so much. All the best. Sheldon Whitehouse right here on the Jeff Santos Show.